When we started to work on core, we simply had a round and a square leg. And then we wanted to integrate cable management and wanted to have both in one, and that we call the D-leg. The D-leg is simply a round front and half of the round added a square back, gives the D-leg. And the D-leg has a slot on the back to bring up the cables, is straight and attached to the most efficient structure we call an X that will support round and square surfaces. For us it was important that each seat on this round or square table has the same quality, so we have no beams running along the shape of the top. So we created the X frame, what we called, where the two beams simply form a cross. For us it's important not only the way things are working, it's also important the way things are looking. And when it comes to the D-leg in an angle, it's also about the most efficient structure that we call an epsilon structure. We have it in sheet metal and we have it open on the back like the D-leg to bring up the cables. And in the second variant we will also offer the same D-leg made out of solid wood. What will add another emotional factor, so we will talk then about emotional environments and not only having another leg in metal. When it comes to a coffee table, it shows again the versatility of core, how it can adapt to different environments. What we did here, we separate the structure from the surface. That allows us to create different models using the same structure. Here you see a good example how effectively a lean structure works with thin top. You have the leg attached here to the structure going straight down there. So that is highly effective and that's exactly what is needed. With the core media card, the interesting aspect is it's operating in space. It's not the usual storage sitting in front of a wall, it's defining space. So there is no front and back. Both sides of the media cards are having a front. To emphasize that, we have translucent sliding doors that you can access from the back, or let's say from both front sides. And it blends in perfectly into any given environment. Core addresses a variety of needs and offers choices. So it's very important that we do not operate with one model only. We have here a whiteboard and storage, but later we also will add to the whole offering a seating card with storage and seating height. So it will address different environments and different settings. For us, the detail are not just only the details that make the product. And so we wanted to see that we have a kind of DNA in the detail that refers to the curves, to the slight, elegant, thin material, as we have here on the screen. You will find here in the accessories and later even in the shelves for the library and the storage. So all those little details essentially are the DNA of core. So when it comes to power and data integration with core, we have several options again. So we can have a pure data and power plate that we attach to the surface, and later we can add even storage to the whole thing that we simply slide in and have it in the final position. So what you see in here is the beauty of core and how it adapts to different needs and different environments. We simply added this box, but it's more than a box, it's a library with shelves to the end of the bench, creating here a separate environment called the library. When it comes to the details make the product, and for us here we wanted to have a very slim shelf, easy to install and good looking. So the shelves in this library are made out of sheet metal and nicely fit in and have the strength being slim and elegant. When it comes to changing environment, the beauty of core is you simply adapt to the end of a bench, for instance, this lounge module. It's similar to the library we have, but here we integrated the monitors, so you have occasional meetings, you have a visitor coming in or somebody has to wait for something, and we call that the lounge module that you simply attach to the bench. When it comes to core, it's about adapting to different scenarios. And those elements, this is why we have them on casters, allow us to change the scenario in an instant. So for instance, you can create a kind of return on a bench that is now for this user, but also it can be for this user on that end, or it can become a shared element for the two users, all in an instant and easy to handle. When it comes to Core, it's all about simplicity and ease of use. That means if you need the privacy, you simply create the privacy, you have the screen moving, instantly you have the privacy you wanted, you asked for, but also you can reverse the whole thing at the same time. So you get now the privacy from the other end and not only in between the two workstations. When it comes to Core and to sit stand, it's not about changing the height of the table, it is about changing the position so you walk. And that is good as we are meant to move and not to sit to another level. And this is now not a sit stand, it's two levels in one object. So we can even use the second level to put something below and have here actions going on. Furniture is architecture on a different scale, so we talk about volume and curves and surfaces. And the softness here draws you into that second layer where you simply introduce an element and take it out. So if that would be a simple box, you never would have the same effect of softness and clear shape. When it comes to integrating technology and power and data, we have choices and different options. So we can have it on the upper level here in that surface, but also what I personally prefer, we can have it on the second layer, integrated into the backbone of this standing height table. So you can then charge your item down there while you still operate on the upper level.